Ladies, gents, and everyone who's trying to make a buck in this dog eat dog world, lend me your ears. I'm about to give you the rundown on the almighty gospel of greenbacks. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert T. Kiyosaki. Now, don't get your wallets in a twist. This isn't some boring lecture from your high school economics teacher who couldn't tell a stock from a livestock. Nah, we're going to juice out the top 10 insights from this treasure trove, and who knows, maybe we'll have a little fun along the way. Because let's face it, money might talk, but it doesn't always have to be a snore fest. 1. The Tale of Two Daddies, the Dueling Banjos of Finance. First off, we've got the main event, the clash of the paternal titans. On one corner, there's Rich Dad, rolling in the dough, and in the other, there's Poor Dad, pinching pennies like they're going out of style. Rich Dad is all about taking risks and investing, while Poor Dad is preaching the gospel of play it safe and load up on that sweet, sweet education. Kiyosaki lays it down that maybe the road less traveled by your checkbook could lead you to the promised land of cash flow heaven. To the big bad wolf, why your job might gobble you up. All right, you ready for this haymaker? Working 9 to 5 might just be a booby trap. Here comes insight number 2. That paycheck you're busting your hump for? It's like cheese in a mousetrap, folks. Before you know it, you're stuck in a cycle more vicious than a pack of rabid raccoons on a dumpster dive. Rich Dad says, get off the hamster wheel, kid, because being an employee is playing it too safe, and safe is the new broke. 3. Mind your own business. No, seriously, do it. Insight number 3 is about minding your own beeswax, or rather your own business. Let's get this straight. We're not talking about gossiping over the neighbor's peculiar lawn ornaments. Kiyosaki's talking about setting up your own gig, your empire of excellence, a side hustle that might just hustle its way into center stage. Rich Dad's betting on the fact that your little money-making machine could be the golden goose if you just give it some love, care, and a decent business plan. 4. Fear is the mind killer, and taxes, well, they're just a pain. Next up, we've got a lesson in bravery and the great tax evasion. No, not that kind. Do your taxes, people. Insight number 4 spits in the face of fear and then gives it a noogie for good measure. Fear and taxes are like those two bullies that stole your lunch money in 3rd grade. Rich Dad whispers the ancient secret. Owning businesses and investing are your schoolyard tough guys who can protect you from these goons. They're the moves that dodge taxes legally, emphasis on legally, folks, and make fear tuck its tail and run. 5. The real estate rodeo. Saddle up on assets. Put on your cowboy hats because we're going on a ride through real estate rodeo. Yaha! Insight 5 is all about assets, baby. Are we talking abs of steel? Nah, think bigger and less sweaty. Assets put money in your pocket, and Rich Dad loves assets more than a kangaroo loves its comfy pouch. Real estate, stocks, bonds, even a coin-operated laundromat if you're into that sort of thing. These babies can be more reliable than a golden retriever. Scoop 'em up, and you might just fetch yourself some golden eggs. 6. Liabilities. Those freeloader friends you need to ditch. Now let's chat about liabilities, the 6th sliver of wisdom from our dear Kiyosaki. Imagine a friend who crashes at your place, eats all your cereal, and never chips in for the groceries. That's a liability, and as Rich Dad says, it's time to clean house. Get rid of anything that sucks your wallet dry without refilling it. That shiny new car on loan, those high-fashion threads on credit, they might look sweet, but they're about as helpful to your wealth as a screen door on a submarine. 7. Knowledge is power, and power is money. Lucky number 7, folks. Fill your brain before your pockets. You can't play the game if you don't know the rules, so crack a book, take a class, maybe even learn from old Rich Dad himself. Investing isn't for the faint of heart or the empty of head. It's for the wise and the willing. We're talking financial literacy. Get so good at it that you could do it in your sleep. You might be dreaming of numbers, but those could turn into dollar signs before you know it. 8. Work for experience, not just the green. Insight 8 hits you with the reality check. Sometimes you gotta work for the experience, not just the paycheck. If Rich Dad offered you a pickaxe to mine for knowledge, you'd better grab it with both hands and get swinging. Sure, the bank account might not bloat overnight, but that brain of yours will be swole with smarts. And remember, wisdom is the kind of wealth that can't be taxed. 9. Your house, homestead, or money pit. Numero 9, coming at you with some real talk about your crib. Is your house an asset or a liability? Drum roll, please. It's a liability. But wait, you cry, I've sunk so much dough into these digs. Well, unless your house is making you money, like if you're running a bed and breakfast or renting out your basement to a family of gnomes who happen to be excellent tenants, it's not an asset. Just a cash-eating behemoth in the shape of a 3-bed, 2-bath. Ouch, I know. 10. The rich don't work for money. Money works for them. Last but not least, insight number 10 is the cherry on top. The rich, they ain't breaking their backs for the Benjamins. They've got the Benjamins rolling up their sleeves and breaking ground. Put your money to work. Let it grow, cultivate it, and maybe even romance it a bit so it reproduces. It's like that classic bumper sticker. Don't work harder, work smarter. Make your greenbacks build a little family tree of wealth. And there you have it. 10 pieces of financial wisdom nuggets, all served up with a side of sass, courtesy of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Kiyosaki might just be the financial Cupid shooting arrows at your wallet to make it fall in love with prosperity. And while you're out there, arm wrestling with your finances, remember these little tidbits. You might not be able to turn your pockets inside out and find the secrets to the universe, but hey, a few extra bucks couldn't hurt while you search the stars. Now go forth, young Padawans of prosperity, and use these insights to conquer the financial galaxy. Remember, the force of your wealth is stronger than you think, especially with Rich Dad in your Jedi Council. May the funds be with you, always.